Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday night food review. Today, we have something a little different going on. Without further ado, let's get started. We're doing salmon. But that's not the impressive part. The impressive part is that I'm doing it at home. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to cut this into 2 portions, and then I also got to dry it out. All right, cutting right about the middle. All right, I got 2 nice sized portions here, so now I just need to dry it off. All right, just going to do a little bit of salt here. That salt's going to draw out some moisture. I'm not a chef, so don't quote me on that. All right, and now I'm just going to pat it dry just to get that moisture off of the fish. Okay, and now I have a glove on my hand because I do have a little boo-boo on this hand. So I have that there now. So now that I've dried each side a little bit, we're going to just continue seasoning. So yeah, we're going to use a little bit of salt, some garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder, and some pepper. Oh, my lid's on. Oops. I got this off of Temu. $5. Oh, wait, no. I think I got that at like Meijer or something. All right, we're going to let these 2 pieces kind of just sit here for a minute. Let those seasonings, those spices kick in, sink in, you know what I mean? And to go along with this, I decided I wanted to be a little bit fancy and splurge. So we're going to be having some rice-a-roni with this. Now, I've never cooked on camera, so bear with me. All right, so in the pan, we got 2 tablespoons of butter, and then in goes the rice mix. And we're just going to saute this until it's golden brown. All right, we have a nice golden brown now, so we are going to finish this one off. All right, first cup. And a fourth. Give that a little stir. And now we wait for it to boil. All right, now that I got it boiling, I'm just going to cover it up and let it simmer for 10-15 minutes while I do the salmon. All right, so for the salmon, we're going to do a little bit of oil. We're going to bring that up, and we're going to go skin side down first. Cook that a little bit. Flip it over. Cook the other side a little bit. All right, we're going to put these babies in. All right, first piece going down. Let's listen to that. All right, let's get that second one down. Now, I don't want to touch these. They'll kind of eventually just pop themselves off the pan, and that's when I want to flip them. I'm going to turn it to low and let the rest of the salmon cook all the way through. All right, so it's starting to get a little smoky, so I am going to flip these now. That's a good sign that that skin is probably burning. Well, they could have stayed on the backs a little longer, but it's too late now. So we'll let these cook, get up to temp. I'm going to temp them in a little bit here, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. All right, these salmon are pretty much done, so I'm going to get them off the stove and onto a plate skin side up. I got some frozen veggies. I'm just going to microwave those, and then we can dig in. All right, so the rice-a-roni's done, and now I just got to mix in the seasoning. I may have let this go on a little too long. There's supposed to be a little bit more water in here, but it's okay. All right, I'm going to go plate everything, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, here's the final product. All right, so we have a little bit of a change of environment, but we're going to go ahead and taste everything now. So the first thing I'm going to do is eat the rice-a-roni. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give these all a score, and the average of all of them is what we'll give the dish. Rice-a-roni, I hate to say it, but I got to give it a 10 out of 10. It's very creamy, and it's smooth. 10 out of 10, sorry. I'm going to do the vegetables next. I wanted to save the fish for last. With the veggies, I didn't record seasoning anything, but I just did salt, pepper, and some butter. Some Kerrygold butter. All right, here we go. All right, so for the veggies, I'm going to have to give those an 8 out of 10. I used a little bit too much salt, so they're a little salty, but otherwise, they're still very good. And now we're going to move on to the fish. I don't think I mentioned this before, but it is coho salmon. Yeah. All right, here's my first bite. Here we go. I'm going to have to give the salmon, I think, an 8 out of 10. Maybe, no, 8. I should have used a little bit more salt with the salmon. I think I wiped too much off of it when I patted it down a second time. But I mean, it is good. The flavor is very nice. It's just missing a little bit of salt. So with everything totaling to 26 divided by 3, that's like 8.5. So if round up 9, round down 8. I'll give it a 9. Total 9. I think I'll round up in this situation. 9. But yeah, that's it for this week's episode. This is my first. This is my first like kind of vlogish type one. But I don't know. I wanted to do this today. I don't know. Anyways, all right. Have a good one. Oh wait. Subscribe if you like the video. I'm gonna try and do more of these. Leave a like. Comment down below. What would you like to see next time? All right. Have a good one.